Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a great day.
We are off to Baker Street today with the help of Stirling Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, Marcus would like to talk about Sherlock Holmes.
Y'all, when I was about 12, I was staying at my grandparents' house, and she had just put us to bed and turned off all the lights, and of course I'm an insomniac, so I knew this was going to be a problem. So I reached for my copy of A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, one of the first Sherlock Holmes novels. Now, I have an eye imbalance, which makes reading really tricky for me and really tiring, so I have a slew of audiobooks that I go through. But any port in a storm. So I dug into those first few pages, and I ended up staying up the entire rest of the night, 3.5 more hours to finish it. It was incredible. And then I dove into all of the other Holmes books. There are dozens of them. And then when I was in college and I was commuting on BART, our subway system, I found the original radio plays by Basil Rathbone. They are incredible. They were produced by the BBC back in the 40s or 50s. Incredibly faithful to the books. I think they're better than any of the movie adaptations that have been made since, sorry, Robert Downey Jr. So I have been intrigued about Baker Street from the beginning of our journey. I have been a little standoffish because I know it has a juniper note in there. And juniper and oak moss for me are over there in the corner, but I don't think it's as palpable as I fear. But the other reason I really wanted to smell this is it is a soap that was from a beloved soap maker who went away, and Stirling offered to pick up the ball and recreate one of their iconic scents for the community. Y'all come along, let's meet it. All right, y'all, from the sales page at stirlingsoap.com.
Thanks to the generosity of the owners of Strop Shop, we are proud to be able to resurrect this iconic scent. A fresh and masculine blend of juniper, bergamot, jasmine, and patchouli.
While I'm a little surprised there's not a tobacco note in here to match Holmes's iconic pipe, I am excited to know where this is going to whisk us away to today. Come along, y'all, let's open the box. Well, why is that box so big? You say you must have ordered a few sets. You say, oh, nay. Stirling recently released a bar soap based on cotton candy. I think Aquilina's pink sugar. We bought 12.
Marcus bought 12.
I bought 12. I gave one to your sister.
That's true.
I want credit
He's
for
sharing.
that. And here's why this is smelling a little boozy. We got a sample of margaritas in the attic, y'all. Arctic. Well, I've never had a margarita in the Arctic, okay? But we used to sneak up to the attic. Never mind. Y'all, that's the best thing about ordering from Stirling. Samples galore. And there's another one in here at Mountain Man. You open that.
Oh, my goodness.
And I will show this to the folks. Now, you know why I love this? Look at the iconic little logo image underneath the title. It's an homage to the original Strop Shop.
I just realized, y'all, this is a shampoo puck sample.
Oh, nice.
And these are both the conditioner bars, which we love using these in our shower.
I'm a PAA man when it comes to shampoo, but if I don't follow it with a Stirling conditioner bar, things get a little...
It does say the street signs are Stirling Soap and Strop Shop. That's on the corner
where
of Bay
they
Street.
come together. I love that. And this is indeed where they come together,
They
just
do.
in time for our first impression. Now, why I love Sherlock Holmes is it usually opens with a dude walking into his study, and he looks at him and he goes, "Did you have a good time in Ethiopia?" And the guy's like, "How did you know that?" And he's like, "Well, you were traveling with your daughter, weren't you? And her fiance." And he's like, "How did you know that?" And then he goes on to explain exactly how he knew that in a way that makes you feel kind of stupid for not noticing it yourself. Watson always says brilliant deduction, but I think his logic is actually inductive. But That's for the scholars to decide. I'm going to take this in
Please
first.
do. I'm excited to see what you think.
I want to see how much juniper is in this and if it's going to ping my alarm bells or if this is going to be something that ends up being a little bit beloved on my side
I
of
do
the
enjoy
cabinet.
juniper myself, so I'm not as worried. But see what you find.
And if it's used just right as like a cool blast of air, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But if it's turned up a little much for me, I think it takes me back to that juniper tree we had in the backyard loaded with spiders.
Oh.
All right, taking it in. Here we go.
But it's enough that people wanted to rescue it.
Right,
so
that's
that's got to
the thing.
mean something.
That's why I was so excited, was that there was a rallying cry to bring this back. All right, here we go.
All right, get your first whiff.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah?
I get it. This is wild. Y'all, here's why. It's made of scent notes.
Okay.
Definitively. My nose is kind of starting to categorize him. I'm getting juniper, I'm getting something woody. But then, hold on. As soon as my nose backed up and like took it all in, this is the scent of a fresh breath of air.
Ah.
That's what this is. It's not that it's light on the notes.
Okay.
It's not that it's loose in its complexity. It's that somehow they've been able to bring all of those together to create the feeling of walking into an air-conditioned building when it's the middle of summer in Florida. Y'all, that's the feel of this. This is wild. Hold on. I mean, juniper, floral, woody, spices, but it's combining to create spring water.
Whoa.
On a farm in August. You know what this is reminding me of?
Okay.
In the theater, we have gels that we put over lights, and the
Right.
follow spots always usually have like a big old hit of pink or a big old hit of blue. Well, one time in a theater class, they had 3 lights all set up. One was cyan, one was magenta, and one was yellow.
Right.
And they were like, what's going to happen when we combine all of these colors when it's done with light? Well, we'd all combined our food coloring and know that
Yes.
that turns black when you combine all 3 of those. But y'all, when you combine those 3 colors of light, all of a sudden the light in the middle turns clear. It turns white. It's no longer a color, and it kind of makes your mind explode. That's what this soap is doing. I'm getting the magenta, the juniper, I'm getting the yellow,
Right.
the florals, I'm getting the cyan in the woods and spices, and they're coming together to give me that most beautiful, perfect hit of fresh
Wow.
air. Maybe even while standing near the bay somehow. It's not an aquatic, but it's just clean.
It's not what you would expect from reading
Right.
the scent notes.
I
so
know.
I like that.
I know. And the thing is, I get juniper, but I really have to look for it with a spyglass. Oh, I'm starting to get this.
Baker Street is just like where he lives, right?
221B Baker
there you
Street
go.
on the 2nd floor.
I was totally reading that as like where a baker shop, like Baker Street. I was
gotcha.
backwards.
Right. And you know what's cool too? It's not soapy. At all.
Okay.
It's fresh, airy. It's clean water-y. It's got a little tinge in the middle of a floral that's not very sweet. You know the California poppy?
Okay.
That beautiful burst of bright orange unlike anything else? Well, it does not smell as pretty as it looks. It's got kind of an almost acrid floral scent in the middle, very dry. That's almost where the juniper is like segueing into the florals. You know, if you love Stirling Lime, if you love the fresher, that's the kind of thing this does. Those are how it's doing it sweet.
Okay.
But the juniper's adding a little extra sweet than those have. Wow. And it takes me to a clean place, but like an ultra professional one. It's not a barbershop. It's not a lounge.
Right.
Well, it might even be his study without the tobacco. Something gently masculine, but a place where business is being done and deep thoughts are being thunk. And if you take the waxy part out of color crayons and you find that almost citrusy scent that's inside of a box of 64 brand new Crayolas, that's in here. And you know where the tug of war is? It's between the bergamot and the juniper. That's where the movement's happening, and they're sitting on a very delicate bed of florals, but not enough to interrupt the arm wrestling competition that's going on upstairs. Sweet's about the 3rd thing I would say this was, but there is just enough sweetness in there where you know you can trust the hand that you're shaking that's wearing this. It would be in the freshy lane if it was a cologne or an aftershave for sure. It's got a modern element to it that's just beguiling. Almost needing grapefruit, but it doesn't. Well, and that's an important distinction, I think, because the grapefruit would have made it a little sour. I almost sense a grapefruit missing from this, but then when I dive back in, I love that sour face isn't here. I love that it aired on the side of the gentle sweets and left them alone. And about half of it is very natural faces of those scent notes.
Okay.
But the other half are kind of fantasy versions of those scent notes. So it's not like I'm out on a field or out in a forest with this gentleman. I am in a townhouse, but it's got some natural elements to it. Very nicely done. Not what I was expecting at all. A little bit more neutral of a scent, but I think it begs for your own personality.
Does it seem like it was actually perfumed by Strop Shop, or like Stirling recreated it?
Yes.
Like their noses or something?
I would not think that this has the olfactory fingerprint of Rod and Mandy. I can kind of tell that someone else
Just curious,
has done this.
yeah.
I think if this was a Stirling scent, one of them would have been brought out a little more as the spine, and then there would have been a few more notes to help decorate that tree with the other scent notes. I think it might have been a little bit stronger in its personality.
Okay.
But I love the width and breadth of what they do at Stirling Soap, and that this is one of their perennial and most popular offerings. All right.
Okay, no more Stirling.
See
Going
what
in.
you get. I'm excited.
I see what you mean by the breath of fresh air kind of thing, but this is it's almost got like an effervescence in the middle. Not done with like a soda fountain effervescence, but there's something about how it must be like the juniper and the jasmine or the bergamot that it kind of creates this like spicy brightness in the middle that I wasn't expecting, but that is what makes me want to take a longer breath. As soon as my nose catches it, I'm like, wait, I don't want that to be over.
And she put on these nail wraps specifically for this Stirling episode. Somebody was crying in the other room to be let on the show, like Lucy.
Okay, you want to get your whiff? All right, there we go.
What do you think? All right, you got it? All right.
I'm kind of getting more of the bergamot than I have in a lot of other scents, but it's almost like the peel, the outside. And that's why you were saying it could approach the freshy kind of thing. It's not completely coastal, but there's something about how that brings you into the scent that immediately freshens up the air in a way that is just making you want to take a bigger, deeper breath.
It doesn't have the traditional citruses or salts that make it an aquatic, but I do.
Yep, my brain puts them there.
A sense of the bay.
Okay, I think the juniper almost adds not a menthol, but like a crisp, minty clean in a different way. So I don't know if I would have caught that it's juniper, but there's something a little sweeter that approaches that minty kind of feel to me that adds into the rind of the bergamot that, again, just has, you want to like smile. There's a bright freshness that you'd start your day with.
A little lighter in intensity than some of the Stirlings. I'd put it at maybe a 2.5.
Oh, I think it's there, but it's proud voices that are in this. It's not that they're quiet that's making them gentle. Like each of them has like a standing voice in all of these, but it's how they're interacting that my nose is having a fun time kind of navigating between. I mean, I know they're listing 4 scents. There might be more hiding in here, but it's interesting how the juniper is listed first, but that's the one that I'm having the hardest time catching. Right. I almost think I get more of the patchouli send off at the end than I get even of the florals, but I'm getting an overall cleanliness that I think those 2 secret ones are kind of creating the magic with in a different way.
And believe it or not, I think it's part of the patchouli that's giving it that clean sense of fresh air. Amazing.
It's not quite like approaching a petrichor thing, but I do get like, if you go outside and you see there's a little dew on the grass or left over on cars, like there's something that side, being coastal or close to an aquatic-y kind of a thing, that's about how much water I would say is coming out with this whiff. I'm still trying to figure out what is making this technically lean masculine, because they're not the stereotypical things that you would smell. But yes, I get like a dapper suit or something, not necessarily where it's like grunge time business is getting done, but there's something serious that's happening that's being covered at this location that you're getting ready for. But I also feel like this could be an EDP that you wore every day. Like there's something very charming that I think would kind of mold to whoever's personality is wearing this.
Yeah. And one of the members of the wet shaving community just got back from a trip to London and posted pictures of Geo Trumper, posted pictures of Tobbs. Y'all, I think some of the scents that go back hundreds of years in Great Britain are being represented here. They're a little bit older than we are here in the colonies. And I think this is kind of maybe how those gentlemen might have smelled in the early 1800s, in the late 1700s, when it was just bergamot, herbs, juniper that you were using to make these colognes. It still has callbacks to those natural things. And come along with us. I want you to see my new Stirling brush. We're going to build you a lather. And y'all, this is my new replicant brush from Stirling Soap Company, and it makes a rather bold claim on the sales page. It says that many may not be able to tell the difference between this and a badger. And y'all, I gotta tell you, when I'm soaping my face, it feels just like one. All right, I see a little almond size poking
Just
above the
for
surface
you.
here. I'm gonna grab that, just about that much soap, and I'm gonna press it into my medium/large size head shaving bowl from the KUN workshop. This is the larger of the two sizes they currently offer. And this is our bougie sprayer, y'all. We are sentimentalists at heart. This was a gift in one of our very first episodes from Sean and Julie Smaldridge. All right, y'all, I'm just gonna start by moving the soap up onto the bristles of the brush. I don't really want to build a lather yet. Just want to move the soap itself. I'm going to grab a little bit of water to help it do that.
You can't really see the backbone on this. That does really kind of approach the line of an animal's hair, I gotta say.
Right. I think what used to bug me about juniper is that it was next to the plum tree. It was next to the strawberry bushes.
So they
Those are
conflicted.
sweeter in a much different way. Juniper
Yeah.
does a very grown-up kind of sweet that you find in gin
I'm with you.
kind of stuff. So I think that's why my nose was like plum, strawberry,
Yeah.
juniper.
But it does approach that almost minty fresh kind of thing, but a little more candied mint somehow, maybe?
And y'all, I know Stirling is a little bit known for being budget friendly, but one of the 3 best shaves I ever had in my life was with a Stirling lather. There are no compromises here, y'all, despite the sub $15 price on most of their tubs. And even though we are giant proponents of spending 2 or 3 minutes building a lather, we have recently realized there is benefit to spending 4 or 5 minutes building these lathers.
They only get better. It's not like you're going to break them by keeping going there.
Oh, I know we never really talk about lather here on the Barbershop Duet, but this is
My
great.
goodness.
And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Gregory House Whiff on 3, 1, 2. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, almost a little bit of a sandy sort of note in the middle of this as it widens. This widens drastically from that for me. How are you getting it?
Yeah, I see what you mean by the sandy part. It's interesting. My brain was trying to figure out a better word for that, but I think you're right. I'm gonna go with that. It's not talky. It doesn't go powdery. Like, it is kind of more clean sand.
And it's kind of segueing into the delicious scent of the Stirling base itself, which is nice. Well, y'all, I was about 4 years into the series House on Fox, the medical show, before I made the connection. It is a thinly veiled retelling of the stories of Sherlock Holmes. Instead of bad guys, it's disease. He lives at 221B Baker Street. He plays the piano rather than the violin. He takes Vicodin rather than the things that Sherlock took, which I can't say on this channel. He had Dr. Wilson instead of Dr. Watson. And at the end of the day, it's Sherlock Holmes and Dr. House. Why that was the last thing I really noticed, I have no idea, but there you go.
Although, I do feel like he could totally smell like this.
Totally. You put Hugh Laurie in an American accent,
There you go.
this is what he smells like.
Yep.
Well, climb it on the motorcycle or play the
Yeah.
piano. This is Dr. House.
Yeah.
It's elegant. It's smart. It's sophisticated. It doesn't have to be friendly if it doesn't want to be.
Yep.
That's this. Wilson would smell like Aventus. Everybody knows this.
I have to say, this might be one of those ones I would throw in the ring for like a newbie scent.
Yeah.
Though. Don't you think? Like,
Right.
it's really welcoming. I feel like it's very crowd pleasing. There's not too many pokey things in here that are like really trying to be heard. I feel like they would blend well with whoever puts them on.
Especially if you love citrus and you want to take another step into the perfuming world. This is your pony. And y'all, we love watching our shaving channels on YouTube. Angelo's got a few coming your way from the Shave Arcade, but we don't do shaving. Here in the Barbershop Duet, I wanted to show you the quality of this Stirling lather. Good night, everybody. Would you like to try?
I would.
Yes, this is lovely.
I know you were saying I need to get one of these brushes. I'm kind of
You really
curious.
do. You really do.
There's so much lather here, it's like falling off.
That's because we spent an extra 2 minutes.
It's true.
You will be rewarded thusly.
I'm glad you went with the bigger bowl. Jeez Louise.
We're going to need a bigger bowl. All right, y'all, well, come along with us. We're going to take this down just a little bit deeper.
I am getting hit with the category of like hotel room, not hotel lobby, but like it's sparkling clean.
At the Bellagio, not Swingo's Celebrity Motor Lodge in gorgeous downtown Seven Hills. If you've never seen the Wayne Newton impersonator in the Plywood Room, you owe it to yourself. All right, are you ready to try a little of this? Splash on for size. I think there's going to be a few questions answered.
Me too. I'm curious about the juniper voice coming through.
Yeah, me too. All right, here we go.
Oop, got it on the dog. Sorry, lady.
On
Just
3, 1, 2.
Oh, she's awake now.
Oh, a little of the burn from the shave I had right before we shot. Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
the
something's
citrus
changing.
takes over. This just became a lot more dapper. This is like a Buckingham Palace.
Okay, I'm
Kinda
getting the
smell
patchouli way more, y'all.
Y'all, that's what's giving this more of a base. Even cleaning it up a little bit more in a weird herby way.
Almost approaching boozy. Like, why is my brain getting that? Like, the part that was sandy in the lather turned boozy here.
And the reason I say Buckingham Palace, clean, carpet, tall ceilings, and wisps of gin in the air. I kind of picture like water with lemon in it with ice.
Yeah.
Sitting on a lovely tray next
Just
to
for
Her
you.
Majesty. And in my world, the Queen is still alive in Great Britain, and it's 1985, and it always will be.
Yeah, something happened to this juniper. It's not the fresh tree, like, real life version. Something, like you were saying, turned into gin. Like, it's in a different formation here.
It's like the lemon zest on your martini took over the martini.
There you go.
And it almost overpowered the juniper. That's where this starts.
But it's still oddly sweet. It doesn't go like alcohol-y, even though that came from the splash. As soon as that dried down, that went away.
But no sweeter than gin naturally gets. It's not floral sweet. It's not those different kinds of sweets.
It almost took away the jasmine. Like, I forgot there was even floral in this.
This is almost a flanker to the fresher. Y'all, that's where I would put this.
There's something that's a very distant cousin to Ben Franklin in the middle. Maybe it's the patchouli, but there's something... He's the way more rugged off the, in the boonies version of this. But there's something in it that... It's the outdoorsy freshness that's still part of this.
I adore Ben Franklin, and Rod doesn't understand it. It smells like the little huts and little ranger stations in the campgrounds in California where I grew up. I will keep my flag in that.
Okay, so this got more masculine, but it's still not your stereotypical masculine.
There you go.
It's very intriguing, which totally fits the whole Sherlock Holmes idea. Like, he's not the normal dude, and you know it.
There you go.
But he's still a dude.
And dapper. Always in a suit, long coat, matching hat.
Mr. All-Knowing.
Big old pipe,
I'm kind of glad we opened it during springtime. Like, there's something about, like, the sun has to be up to sparkle against the dew outside. Like, I don't know. You're starting your day. It's like a morning, but still cooler outside scent. I don't think I'd want it to be summer.
That's why she's here, folks. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be a 12-year-old Marcus all of a sudden obsessed with the writings of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, collecting all the books. But just about the time you pick up your audio copy of Stephen King's Nightmares and Dreamscapes from the Pinole Library and notice that Stephen King has written his own Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson story, you are going to get your own. Head over to stirlingsoap.com where you can find this and a wide range of other products. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Baker Street. Definitely in the freshy lane, but with a little more bite, with a little more brisk air, and a little bit more personality, whisking you away to Great Britain on a cool spring morning, and I loved it. The base, y'all, is phenomenal. Time-trusted, iconic, and where value meets quality, I always get a fantastic shave with my Stirling lathers, and we will be back for a little noble man soon. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our May giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us a message here at WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. Email is the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first June episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
Are you going to go reaching for this from time to time?
I'm not going to say I'm not. There's something that just is right on the cusp of being more clean than more masculine. So I think the lather definitely is more my jam. The splash is growing on me. The more I'm getting whiffs of it, I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's me. Like, it's not that it's too masculine that it's not, but it's just not something that I would normally reach for, but I like what it's doing.
And without the patchouli, I think this would even be in their feminine line. I think that's what anchors it to the masculine. Well, Rod and Mandy, Thank you for doing one of the coolest things in the wet shaving world, rescuing a beloved scent when an artisan is no longer able to make it. Because there are hundreds of guys out there who have built memories with this scent out in their everyday lives, and they want to know that that scent's going to be there for them going forward. And that's why we love the wet shaving world, y'all. The perennials are always there for us, and anything magical that comes and goes away will somehow be back again like Santa Claus if you just give it a little patience.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell more British just watching this, right?